Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Insane Worlds. Number 5. Narmer Palette. The Narmer Palette is one of the earliest historical documents that has survived, made around 3200 BC. It also contains some of the earliest hieroglyphic symbols ever discovered. The large stone platter is intricately carved with imagery that has allowed scholars to theorize about what exactly it represents. The palette was designed to be used to grind up the powders involved in either painting or makeup, but may have been more of a ceremonial object. On the back, various beasts can be seen, as well as a man wearing the red crown of Lower Egypt, who stands more than twice the size of those around him. On the front of a huge man wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt, who is striking down a foe. Above this figure are symbols representing a catfish and a chisel. These hieroglyphics represent the sounds Amar and Mr. This figure is Narmer. These early hieroglyphics, along with the imagery employed on the palette, have been interpreted as telling us that Narmer was the pharaoh who united Upper and Lower Egypt into one kingdom. Narmer does sound like a strong leader. His name can be translated as fierce catfish. Number 4. Great hymn to Aten. Most people view Egypt as a very stable and long-lasting civilization. Throughout its long history, there were innovations. However, even in religion, perhaps the most explosive revolution in Egyptian belief came under the leadership of the pharaoh Akhenaten when he tried to force the worship of his own god Aten on the Egyptians. Akhenaten ruled from around 1350 BC, and he changed everything to show the power of his new faith. The names of the royal family were made to include Aten. A unique artistic style was developed, and he founded a new city at Amarna as the capital of his realm. He also produced new prayers to his god. The great hymn to Aten was written to praise the new order in religion. Aten is imagined like the sun. We are told he rises in the east, sparkles, and his rays are what hold the lands together. When Aten sets, people hide in their rooms and sleep as though they are dead. All good things come from Aten, and coincidentally, Akhenaten is his son. The religion of Atenism did not long survive Akhenaten. The pharaoh's image was stripped from monuments, his capital abandoned, and Egypt went back to the old gods. Number 3. Diary of Mirror. There is still a lot of misinformation about the pyramids of Egypt were built. Mistaken ideas started early. The ancient Greek writer Herodotus tells us that he heard from the priests of Egypt that they were constructed by slaves. Archaeology has shown that, in fact, the workers were paid for their labor, but one text discovered in 2013 may shed more light on the pyramid's construction, as well as being the oldest hieroglyphic text written on papyrus. The papyri were discovered in caves on the Red Sea that had been built to store the boats. Written during the reign of the pharaoh Khufu by a middle-ranking civil servant called Mir, these texts are a logbook of work undertaken in moving monumental stones. Mir records how each month he shipped 200 blocks of limestone, each weighing over 2 tons. What does this have to do with the pyramids? Khufu's tomb was the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it was once clad in shining white limestone. This text gives us a link to those responsible for this massive building project. Number 2. Graffiti. Writing in hieroglyphics was a highly specialized skill performed by scribes. The number of people who could read hieroglyphic inscriptions was probably equally limited. This means fewer texts written by ordinary people have survived, but there are some graffiti written in hieroglyphics that offer a view of life not always recorded in official texts. In the necropolis of Saqqara, a number of intriguing writings have been found. One shows the outline of a pair of feet with text around the edge. The maker of this graffiti tells us that he wanted his name to endure as long as the temple on which it was carved stood. Other writers simply carved their names into a building, the same way modern graffiti artists do. Sometimes hieroglyphic graffiti is discovered in out-of-the-way places and temples where no human would be expected to see them. These people were probably calling on the gods to witness their devotion. Sometimes an inscription is discovered on stone that was later covered in plaster. No one would ever see those writings, but maybe the gods could still see them. Number 1. Graffito of Esmet Akum. On August 24th, AD 394, a priest carved an inscription on the wall of the Temple of Philae beside an image of the god Mandulus. This, as far as we know, was the last time hieroglyphics were written in ancient Egypt. This graffito by Esmet Akum marks a transitional point in Egypt. The temple where his family had served for generations was at the very edge of the Roman world at this point. In AD 391, the Emperor Theodosius ordered that all pagan temples be shut down. That this temple continued to be maintained was because it was just outside the hands of those who wanted to enforce Christianity. The inscription in hieroglyphics reads, "Before Mandulus, son of Horus, by the hand of Nesmaterakim, son of Nasmeter, the second priest of Isis for all time and eternity." Words spoken by Mandulus, lord of the Abatan Great God. Another written in Demotic gives the exact date. There are later graffiti at the temple site, but they are written in Greek hieroglyphics as a method of writing guide. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.